Hey, what's happening, guys? Hope you guys are all doing well. We're back in the States. We got back on January the 10th, and took us a couple of days. In fact, I'm still trying to recoup from that flight. What a long flight. But overall, the trip in itself, with having some ups and downs at certain airports, it turned out to be pretty nice. Other than the first, I would say the first couple of days after arriving on Christmas Day, it was, yeah, the weather was pretty bad. It was heavy downpour rains. It was like that for 4 days or so, or all the way up until New Year's Eve. About 5:30 p.m. New Year's Eve is when the rain stopped, which gave us, we were just so happy about that because we could now enjoy being outside in the weather without having rain. And what a huge difference it made. I noticed a lot of the people over there, when it quit raining, more and more people were coming out and doing their thing, getting ready for the new year. But it was just a lot of fun. On this trip, there were some things that I wasn't able to do. One, I wasn't able to get a lot of, I really could not get any of the street foods that I wanted to. And that was all planned for me to do those things upon arriving in the Philippines, because we had other things scheduled and planned throughout our trip or our stay. So that did not happen. The other thing was when we had gone to Patar, White Sand Beach, I did not get a lot of footage with the drone. That just did not happen due to high winds. The winds were just crazy. I mean, it was a nice warm wind, but to use a drone wasn't a good idea. It was bad. So that was scrapped. But then again, guys, there were some things that I realized when I was there. And I know one of the things was, before going on this trip, I was so pumped and excited about getting all this different footage. And I realized when I was there that, I'm so focused on wanting to get stuff on camera so that I could bring it back for videos. And I realized that I was thinking and putting all my efforts towards that more than I was enjoying myself while I was there. And that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to put the camera down and I'm going to enjoy the time that I have here. And that's what I did. There was actually 1 or 2 days that I didn't use the camera because I wanted to just enjoy my time there. It wasn't fair to my wife. She knows that I'm a YouTuber and I'm a creator, and she doesn't mind that I do those things, but it wasn't fair to her that I was constantly wanting to film this or do this, or I'll be right back because I want to go catch this. So I learned that sometimes you just have to put the camera down and just enjoy your time. And that's what I did. I just sat back, I relaxed, and we would go different places and I would just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the atmosphere, the people that were there. And it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, if I didn't get certain footage on this or that, it's not that big of a deal. And so it was a bit different for me on this trip. I don't know if it's because I'm older or if I'm taking certain medications, because I couldn't, me personally, I couldn't really enjoy a lot of the foods. As much as I love Filipino food, I just couldn't eat it. It wasn't agreeing with me. It would go right through me. And, it didn't matter what it was. So I actually lost 10 pounds while I was over there because I did not want to eat certain foods. When it was, anything that may have been fried or was greasy, I stayed away from it. I just could not eat it because I knew what was going to happen. One of the things you'll learn when you're in the Philippines, depending on where you're located, is if you're ever in those situations to where you have to use a bathroom, well, a lot of times you're out of luck. I mean, you can be out of luck. There's not always a place for you to go. And one of the things that I've learned after my first trip there is always carry toilet paper, things like that, because they do not have, in certain areas of the Philippines, they do not have toilet paper in the bathrooms. They don't supply the bathrooms with toilet paper. So, here in the States, we're used to using toilet paper. That's how we grew up. That's all we know. In the Philippines, they scoop. Okay, they use water. That's how they. And I got to be honest with you. Actually, using water is better than using toilet paper. It really is. You actually can clean yourself better with water than you can with toilet paper. But anyhow, I was in a situation when we were visiting the juvenile prison, and I had to go. We actually sat down. We had a lunch. And not long after eating that, I had to go. And, I was asking, the personnel that was working there, can I use a bathroom somewhere? And it took them a long time to figure out where I could go. And finally, they found a spot for me to go, and there was no toilet paper. You had to use water. So it's a whole different experience, a whole different ball game over there. It's one that most Filipinos they're used to that, but to a foreigner, we're not used to that sort of thing. So it was rather interesting for me. But I actually learned that on my first trip. So I know, all in all, the trip in itself was while we were in the Philippines, it was wonderful. It was 86, 87, close to 90 degrees almost every day, despite the rains. There was only one evening that I can remember at the condo where I stepped outside, and there was actually a chill in the air. I couldn't believe it. I even said to my wife, I said, it's actually a little bit chilly out. I found that rather strange, and she thought it was rather strange. But there was an actual chill in the air, not like how we have it here in the winter months where you step out and it's cold. It just seemed like the breeze had a little bit of a chill to it. It was rather odd. But other than that, we had a great trip. Y'all already pretty much know my experiences at the airport. The airport, JFK Airport, was the worst airport that I have ever been to. The staff there, the people that work there, the most ignorant people that I have ever talked to in my life. I mean, wow. I mean, they were just rude to everybody. It was unbelievable. It was like that when we came back. We actually had to go back to JFK to come back to Pittsburgh. And yeah, the way that they talked to people was just unbelievable to me. They were talking to people like we were just kids, and telling everybody, hurry up, let's go, get in the line, let's move it, get in the line, everybody move it on, move it, and it blew my mind. I couldn't believe how they were talking to people. But I guess that's New York. That's the way they are. I don't know. But I personally will never travel back to JFK Airport. If I can avoid it, I will avoid it. I'll never want to go back to that airport. What else? The flight the flight itself, we had a really nice flight going over. We had a nice flight coming back. My poor wife, she was sick. She did not feel good at all coming back. My heart went out to her. It was terrible for her. She just did not feel good. She had either a sinus infection or something going on there, but she was miserable coming back. But for the most part, I can say at least she slept. She slept for most of the trip, which was good. But we are back, and I still have a bunch of footage to put out yet. This I'm very proud of, guys. And yeah, I actually put it in a frame because to me, this is, to a lot of people it may not mean a whole lot, but to me it means everything. I mean, for me, with my channel anyways, I never thought that I'd ever be able to hit that, but I actually hit the 1 million views. Okay, the 1 million views on my channel, and that's something that I am extremely proud of. I don't know, I never thought that I'd hit that, and it wasn't when I was in the Philippines when I seen that I was over 1 million. That was awesome. So this was saying December 28th is when I hit 1 million views. So I thank each and every one of you for that, and it continues to grow. So that's pretty much it, guys. I also was experiencing, which was really odd for me, I had swollen ankles while I was in the Philippines, and my feet were swollen, and I didn't know why. For what reason was my feet swollen? And it wasn't until we actually got back home here and I didn't have that problem. I had actually today is Wednesday, and I had a appointment with my heart specialist, and I was even asking the doctor about that, and he said it was more than likely the flight itself. For being in the air for as long as you have at those altitudes, that's why your feet were swollen. I would have never thought that, but it's all good now, and had a good visit with my heart doctor. Everything's great. He loves all my numbers. I'm down on my weight. I'm going to continue with that, and I will do my best to continue getting footage out to you guys. I hope you guys are liking some of the stuff that I'm putting out. Unfortunately, a lot of the videos that will be coming out is on our 6-hour trip going north. Yeah, a lot of it's on the road, unfortunately. That's just how it all panned out this time. So I thank each and every one of you, and don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the video, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Peace out.